Hello everyone, it's me, Mr. Alexis R. Osorio, and today, welcome to mathematics class. Okay, so since this is the third quarter in mathematics for grade 8, we will now proceed to the next branch of mathematics, which is known as geometry. Okay, for this part of our lesson, a mathematical system in geometry consists of the undefined terms, the defined terms, the postulates, and the theorems. Undefined and defined terms are all about vocabulary. On the other hand, postulates and theorems are all about principles. For today's learning objective, illustrate the need for an axiomatic structure of a mathematical system in general, and in geometry in particular. We have A. Defined terms and B. Undefined terms. Let's take a look at these pictures. We have the tip of a pen, paper, straws, sticks, tiles. What have you observed with these pictures? Okay, so these pictures has something to do with our lesson for today. Okay, so those pictures are described as undefined terms. Undefined terms. The undefined terms in geometry are only explained using examples and descriptions. These are the point, the line, and the plane. So there is no exact definition of these undefined terms. We can just describe them, we can just give examples using this. Let's now talk about the three undefined terms. Let us start with point. So what is a point? A point suggests an exact location in space. It has no dimension. We use a capital letter to name a point. Let's give examples of this. Okay, we have two pictures here. The first picture is the tip of a pen. The second picture is the tip of a pencil. It suggests the idea of a point. Okay, so other than this, we can have another example of point in real life. Okay, so it has no dimension, and let us say this point is point A. As you can see, we have dot A. We can also write this as point A, the word point and capital A. Don't forget that we are using capital letter to name a point. Any letter in the alphabet may be used to name a point. Now, before we go on to the second undefined term, can you name one thing that represents or suggests the idea of a point? Look at your surroundings. You can see something that represents the idea of a point. Wow, that is correct. Okay, now let's go to this part of our lesson, to the second undefined term, which is known as line. As you can see in these pictures, it represents the idea of a line. A line is a set of points arranged in a row. It is extended endlessly in both directions. It is a one-dimensional figure. Two points determine a line. That is, two distinct points are contained by exactly one line. We use a lowercase letter or any 2 points on the line to name it. Let's take this as example. Kung makikita natin dito, meron tayong line. May dalawang paraan tayo para mabigyan ng pangalan ang line na ito. Una, tignan natin kung ito ba ay merong small letter. At makikita natin, meron tayong small m. Pwede nating gamitin yon as the name of the line. Isusulat mo ay line M. Line and then M. Sunod naman, may isa pang paraan. Para malaman yon, titignan natin yung mga points na nasa line na yon. Kung mapapansin natin, meron tayong point R at point V. Pwede natin gamitin yung point R at point V para bigyan ng pangalan ng line na ito. Ilalagay lang natin yung dalawang capital letters na yon, RV, at lalagyan natin ng symbol sa taas nito, symbol ng line. Ayun, yung may dalawang arrowhead. So, ayun ang dalawang paraan kung paano tayo magpangalan ng line. Una, tignan kung merong lowercase letter. Isa lang yon, ilalagay line M. Kasi M yung nakikita natin dito. Sunod naman is by using 2 points in that line. So, in our case, dalawa yan, R and V. So, line RV. We are done with the first two undefined terms, which are point and line. Let's now proceed to the last undefined terms, which is known as plane. A plane is a set of points in an endless flat surface. The following determine a plane. A. 3 non-collinear points. B. 2 intersecting lines. C. 2 parallel lines. D. A line and a point not on the line. Okay, so dito sa picture na nakikita natin, ito ay mga ilan lamang sa halimbawa ng plane na makikita natin sa ating paligid. We use a letter or 3 points on the plane to name it. Let's take a look at this example. As we can see, there are 3 points na meron tayo sa plane na ito. They are point P, point Q, point R. To name this plane, pwede natin gamitin yung 3 points na yan. Pwede natin sabihin na plane PQR or yung symbol ng plane and then PQR. Pwede rin naman mabaliktad yung mga letters. Pwedeng plane QRP o kaya naman pwedeng plane RQP. It doesn't matter the arrangement of the letters as long as you are using the 3 points that you can see in the plane. Okay, so ngayon, minsan may mga plane na walang points sa loob nito. May makikita lang tayong isang letter and that could be the name of the plane. Let's say plane A, plane B. Okay, so we can use that also to name a plane. Activity number 1. Name one object that could represent each of the following terms below that can be found in your home. A. A point. B. A line. C. A plane. Okay, so maybe you are going to write your answer in your notebook and I am going to give you 1 minute. 1 minute starts now. Okay, time's up. So I hope na meron kayong sagot dito sa tatlong ito. And let's now go to activity number 2. For activity number 2, give all possible names for each of the figures shown below. Okay, so let's start with number 1. What do you think is the name of this figure? Alright, so the answer there is point B. Ayan, makikita natin na ang sagot ay point B. Number 2. Can you give the name of this figure? I'm going to give you 15 seconds to think. Okay, the correct answer here is line AJ. O kaya naman, pwede nating baliktarin yung letters. Pwede rin niya maging line JA. And don't forget that we are using capital letters kapag ka 2 points dito ang ginamit natin. 2 points in the line. Gumagamit lang tayo ng small letter kapag ka meron tayong nakita dito na small letter. And ginagamit natin yon isahan lang kapag ka small letter. Number 3. What do you think is the name of this figure? 15 seconds, go. Okay, if your answer is plain R, then you are correct. Number 4. What do you think is the name of this figure? 15 seconds, go. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 possible answers for this number 4. Pwedeng ang sagot natin ay line AC. Ito yung line AC, dapat may symbol sa taas ng line. May 2 arrowhead sa magkabilang directions. Okay, next is line M. Make sure that letter M is small m because we are using small m at isahan lang ito. Defined terms. Terms that got its meaning using the undefined terms are defined terms. Observe the given illustrations. How does each figure differ from each other? Makikita natin meron tayong segment, ray, and line. What do you think are their differences? Or how do they differ from each other? Okay, so we will find out. Let us start with line segment. A line segment is a part of a line that has 2 endpoints. Okay, so kung makikita natin, meron tayo ditong line AB. Pwede rin naman nating sabihin na ito ay line BA kasi pwede magkabaliktad yung letters. Okay, so from our line, meron daw tayong line segment na kaya nating makuha dito sa line. Because line segment is a part of a line. Let's say, line segment AB. Ayun. Ito na ngayon si line segment. So, this is just a part of a line. Para isulat natin, ito ay line segment AB or line segment BA. Don't forget the symbol for the line segment. Ito yung line sa taas ng dalawang letters. Okay, so ito, ang pinagkaiba lang nito sa line, yung line kasi merong dalawang arrowheads sa magkabilang directions, but for line segment, there are no arrowheads. The next one is ray. A ray is part of a line that has only one endpoint and extends endlessly in one direction. Okay, so tignan natin yung halimbawa dito. Ito yung figure natin. So dito, meron tayong ray na makikita. We have ray AB, pwedeng ray AB. Meron pa bukod sa ray AB. Ray BC. Meron pa. Ray AC. Kung mapapansin natin ang symbol ng ray, merong isang arrowhead. Isang arrowhead lang yung ginagamit natin dito kasi yung isa is endpoint at yung isa naman is it extends endlessly in one direction. So as long as yung isa is endpoint at yung isa naman is arrowhead, that will be considered as ray. So wag malilito sa mga symbols natin. Sa line, meron tayong symbol ng line, dalawang arrowheads, magkabila yun. Sa line segment, walang arrowhead, just a line. Dito naman sa ray, isang arrowhead lang. Next in the list is angles. An angle is a union of two non-collinear rays with common endpoint. The two non-collinear rays are the sides of the angle, while the common endpoint is the vertex. Ito yung halimbawa ng mga angles natin. And I know that you are very familiar with angles. Let's now proceed on how to name an angle. There are two ways on how we can name the angles. The first one is by using the three capital letters, kung saan yung nasa gitna ng tatlong letters na yon ay dapat yung gitna ay vertex. Yung namang nasa unahan at nasa dulo, pwede sila magkabaliktad, pero yung gitna hindi pwedeng hindi vertex. Okay, so dito sa example natin, pwede nating sabihin na ito ay is angle ABC. Pwede rin naman nating sabihin na ito ay angle CBA. Aside from that, pwede rin nating gamitin yung pinakang vertex lang as the name of the angle. Let's say, angle B. Okay, so ibig sabihin yan, pinaka-importante dito is yung vertex nila or yung vertex ng angle because that will serve as the name of the angle. Another way, okay, so this is one way, by using letters. The other way is by using numbers. Kung makikita natin dito sa given natin, merong number 1 dito sa figure. That could be the name of the angle 2. So this will be angle 1. Okay, so I hope that it is clear to everyone on how we name an angle. Let's have another example. Sabihin natin na meron tayong ganitong figure. So medyo madami tayong nakikitang angles dito. So these are the possible names or these are the angles that we can find in this picture. Meron tayong angle 1 at angle 2. Okay, so inuna natin yon para mabilis natin maisa-isa yung iba pang angles. Sa angle 1, pwede nating sabihin na meron tayong angle ABD. Yung angle ABD, letter B is the vertex, so kaya siya ay nasa gitna. Pwede naman nating sabihin na angle DBA, na baliktad lang yung nasa unahan na letter at nasa dulong letter. Hindi pwedeng mabago yung nasa gitna, which is the vertex. Also, for angle 2, pwede rin nating sabihin na angle DBC. Nasa gitna pa rin si letter B kasi si letter B ang kanilang vertex. Or pwede naman nating pagbaliktarin yung una at huling letters, magiging angle CBD. So, wag malilito as long as the vertex is at the middle, that is correct. Pwede magkabaliktad yung una at huli. Okay, so meron pa. Bukod dito, pwede natin sabihin na ito ay is angle ABC. Okay, so yung pinakang malaking angle dito is angle ABC. Kung makikita natin dito sa picture, yung angle ABC is nahati pa sa dalawang angles. Okay, so wag malilito dito sa part na ito. We also have the classification of angles. Angles can be classified according to their measure. I know that some of you or most of you knows already the classification of angles according to their measure. The first one is acute angle. Acute angle is an angle whose measure is greater than 0 degree but less than 90 degrees. This is example of acute angle. So as we can see, it is 62 degrees. It is an acute angle because its measure is greater than 0 degree but less than 90 degrees. Next, right angle. Right angle is an angle whose measure is exactly 90 degrees. This is the picture of a right angle. Okay, so sa right angle, may mapapansin tayo dito na symbol para malaman natin na ito ay a right angle. Yung merong small square dito sa ating pinakang vertex ng ating angle, that is the symbol for a right angle. Obtuse angle. Obtuse angle is an angle whose measure is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. This is example. As we can see, the measure of the angle here is 135 degrees and this is an obtuse angle. Kasi ito ay mas mataas sa 90 pero pero mas mababa sa 180 degrees. Okay, so meaning to say, those are the three basic classifications of angles according to their measures. There are other kinds of angles, but we will talk about that later or in the next lesson. However, we have other defined terms here, such as we can see, let's take a look at this picture. Points A, B, and C are collinear points. Tignan natin yung points A, B, and C. Ayun. Points A, B, and C are collinear points to line N because they lie on the same line. Ayun. Yun pala ang tinatawag natin na collinear points. Ito pala yung mga points na nasa iisang line. Ayun nga ang ating halimbawa. Sa line N, collinear points ang points A, B, and C. On the other hand, D and E are non-collinear points to points A, B, and C since they do not lie on the same line. Ang points D at E naman daw ay non-collinear to points A, B, and C kasi wala sila sa iisang line. Kung mapapansin natin, nasa labas ng line si point D at point E. Other defined terms. Using this figure, we have points X, Y, and Z are coplanar points to plane I because they lie on the same plane. Ayun. Ang pangalan pala ng plane na ito is plane I. At makikita naman talaga natin na ito is plane I. Ang points X, Y, and Z ay nasa loob ng plane I. Therefore, they are coplanar points. On the other hand, V and W are non-coplanar points to points X, Y, and Z since they do not lie on the same plane. Kung meron tayong coplanar points, meron naman tayong tinatawag na non-coplanar points. Ang points V at W ay nasa labas ng plane I. Therefore, points V and W are non-coplanar points to points X, Y, and Z. Kasi nasa labas sila eh. Wala sila sa iisang plane. Activity number 3. Illustrate each of the following correctly. 1. Plane ABCD contains points X and Y. 2. D, E, and F is on line AB. 3. Line B and line C intersect at O. Itong activity number 3, pwede nyong gawin that ends my discussion about undefined and defined terms in geometry. I hope that you learned something from this video. If you have a question, comment, or message, let me know in the comment section and I'm going to respond to you. Okay, by the way, I used the book Grade 8 Mathematics Patterns and Practicalities for the reference, and also the Learner's Module for Grade 8 in Region 4A Calabarzon. Okay, once again, I'm Mr. Alexis R. Osorio, your Grade 8 Mathematics teacher. Thank you and goodbye!